Okay guys, right, I really need a couple of paints. I know I've got the whole set coming, but a couple more to do to really get me going. I'll have to pop out and get those tomorrow, but I thought I'd make a start on the resin ejection seat, which is pretty good. Although typical Eduard, I don't actually quite tell you where to cut it, but it's from kind of here across, and then you've got these seat cushions. Going to cut these off, but I'm not going to take R18 off. In fact, R18, I don't even know where the bit ends and where it begins. I don't know how well things are coming up here. I don't know if it's down to there at the moment and this is flash around it, or whether it's supposed to be cut off there. But I'm sure once I look at the instructions, maybe it will come a bit clear. These are the instructions for it. At the moment, I can't even see where it goes. Maybe it's not to do with the seat. Oh, that's photo-etch 18. R18, that tiny bit there, which has to have a bit of wire in it. Can you really stick a tiny bit of wire in there? But at least I know that it goes down there somewhere. It's not the best moulding, to be honest. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Right, working with resin. Resin is not good for you, so I'm going to try and keep the piece wet while all the dust from the resin is not good. I'm going to try and use one of these trumpeter knives. I've got a bit of water here. Let's see how we get on. Dip it in there and the blade in there. And then I won't obviously cut all the way down. I'll just go through these bits here, leave a bit to cut off. I can see if I've got something a bit stiffer. I've got these Tamiya ones. Let's pop that in here. That was a bit better. Nice coarse sanding stick. I can find one. It feels pretty coarse. Again, wet it. Okay guys, well I've been working on the resin bits from Eduard. Cleaned up the nozzles, rotate obviously to give vertical lift. They certainly look an improvement on the kit supplied ones. Hopefully they'll be right with a coat of primer on, so I've done those. Just made the basics of the kit seat up, see how it compares in size to the resin one. There's obviously a lot more detail on the resin one. As you can see, a couple of little bits of photo etch on there. There's one tiny bit there, and they expected you to bend some wire to make up some little bits here, but that's well beyond me. So that's that. And then you've got, I hope, you've got the seat cushion. You've got bit here, that noise you can hear in the background is my son again. And you've got a seat part that goes there. It's funny, it doesn't want to go in there, but it does actually slot in if I haven't got that piece in. So that goes in there. It went in earlier. Well, I thought it went in earlier. Try the other way up. It goes that way up, I think. Yep, like that. And the seat cushion has to slot in below it. Then this small part here, that then goes on top of that, like that, and then there's a piece that sits on that. I don't know if I've got that the right way up actually, but yes, it does go that way. There's a bit of photo etch that fits on there as well. That's the seats. Done the wheels and the hubs for one side. One's gone missing already. I'm sure it's around somewhere. Find that. Oh, it's in the is actually in the wheel there. So that's those. You got these pods out, which I have no idea what they are. Some sort of laser designators, I guess. There's a little bit of photo etch on the back of that one. Then there's some clear resin parts that fit in there, and another tiny resin part of not resin, photo etch bit that goes in there. They've obviously got to be painted up. And these are the mounting parts for for this one, I think. Forgotten, because that's obviously got the pylon mounting there. Let's look at the instructions, shall we? Oh yeah, that's right. This bit fits on there, like that. And then uncut these bits off yet. They go across like that. These are the gates, these 5 bits, 6 bits. And then they slot into that bit which attaches to the fuselage. I've also filed off some of the detail off of the instrument panel ready for the photo etch and attach this bit at the back here. So that's another bit done. That's what I've done so far. I was just about to clean these bits up, which are part of the interior bit to connect all the front and rear nozzles together on each side, not together fore and aft, so that at least if you move them, they move together. So I'll just cut those out. So they now glue together like that. Not too worried about as long as they're lined up. As they're inside, they won't matter too much. We're pulled with the glue there. So that's one of them. Then it seems particularly slippery plastic. Every time I put a bit on here, it slips off. Mind you, because it's not level here. But we took a notch out of the back of the cockpit area because it stopped the resin seat from going in. But not a badly moulded kit, but I think there should be a lot of rivet detail. But again, that's beyond me at the moment. This is the other nozzle set, so we'll cut that out. These funny pliers that were sold as single edge cutters, but they're not. But I'm not complaining because for some strange reason I got 2 sets sent to me. Must admit, when I saw there was a second set, I thought they'd sent a different set out by mistake. But they're both the same. So, but they seem to cut all right. They don't cut particularly flush, but they're not exactly as advertised. Not particularly worried. Just I think they're only about a tenner, but they're pretty good. I can live with them rather than paying God knows how much for God hand cutters. I find the Citadel ones from Game Workshop are quite good. I treat myself to a set of trumpeter ones at a single edge, but I'll spend too much on modelling as it is. Let's see how these bits go together. Sometimes I like hearing people speak on videos. Depends how much they waffle on, so I find it hard to fill in too many details as I go, so have a little bit of chat. I like to have the radio on when I'm modelling, so that would be an instant strike from YouTube for rebroadcasting all the songs that they play. I sometimes think it's nice if people actually bother to speak. So basically what I've just made up of these parts here that fit inside the fuselage. So hopefully my son's going to visit a friend tomorrow, so I'm going to try and get, apparently the inside should be Admiralty grey, so I'm trying to get hold of a Revell or a Humbrol paint. Humbrol only do it in enamel, but Revell do a acrylic version. Enamels are good, but they take too long to dry. So I've seen the resin bits replace these. You've got the intakes. And you go over, you start doing the wings and the leading edge root extensions, lurks, however they're pronounced. Things could go together. I could do a little bit of sub-assembly work, so I might work my way through some of that at the moment. Gun pods, that's I presume they're the Aiden cannons. I don't know what else they are. I'm going to keep this pretty clean. I don't know yet, I don't know what I'm going to fit, but we'll see. So let's see if we can find G1 and F2. G1 and F2. There's G. Look, I've even marked the sprues up this time because I'm getting fed up with looking for them. That's G1 and F1. Seems to go together quite well. It'll be time for me to go and kick my son off of the computer in a minute. He's been on it all day. We should get another hobby. So this is like a structural joint. Not structural, that's not the right word, is it? Bigger area with some of the good old Tamiya white glue for strength. White top. Resin based apparently, but I'm not sure about that. It has definitely got resin in it. How do I always manage to get a bit of glue come out? Polish that up in a minute. Thin along the edges. what he's playing tonight. Can't get over the price of the games these days. He recently went out and bought himself Forza Horizon 4. It's 40 odd quid, I think. The game. Gosh. Back in my day when I had a ZX Spectrum, they were like 5 or 6 quid. Still, I wonder how that really adjusts for inflation. Gets a little bit more complex these days. And we've moved on from tea to a beer, so cheers. Dry and gently rub those out once that's dry. Put all the bits I'm making up in there, all the sub-assemblies. It seems like there's lots of screws and not so many bits in here. Quite odd really. I suppose I could make up the air intake doors, but I want to get some very thin plastic hard as well. Guys, we're in that little segment there